Thanks for tuning into Stocks with Antonio. What a day in the market. Let me know down in the comments below. Did you make some money in the market? Did you take advantage of the taco trade, right? That's the popular term that Trump always chickens out. And some people believed before the market closed yesterday that we would get to some sort of agreement, which we got the 2-week ceasefire agreement that came out yesterday before 8 p.m. and the market pumped, but it really pumped after hours, meaning if you didn't get in position before, which would have been a lot of play, let's face it, because it would have been really risky. But if you go from the past, a lot of times when if you go back to with the tariffs and stuff, the president would give a date, and then when we got close to the date, there'd be some type of agreement. The stock market would run up. So that we've already have some type of history with dates and threats and things like that. When we get close to that date, some type of positive news comes out and the markets will rally. Now, you may be wondering, did I do anything? Well, I did do a meta call. I did the meta call on Monday. I got into 2 contracts and the market started to pull back. Now, my expiration date was Wednesday, which is today when I'm making the video. It would have expired Wednesday, April 8th. When the market closed, it would have expired. And I'm glad I did it. It went well for me. On Monday, I got it. It started to lose value. Tuesday was a down day. And my 2 contracts that cost me $595 on Tuesday before the market closed, they basically have lost all their value. But I was hoping that we would come to some type of agreement and they would pump. But the reason I'm letting you know about this play is so you see how risky options are, right? I was running a risk since I didn't do a stop loss. I was running a risk of losing my $595. And when it comes to options, you can lose all your money. Now, when you buy a stock, right, you don't lose till you sell. But options, you're going to have an expiration date. Luckily, we got the good news and it pumped. And when the market opened this morning at 9:30, that I sold my 2 contracts right at 9:30, and I made about over 120% roughly on those call options. So I had a really good morning, really good morning. And if you watched my last video, I talked about some stocks that I thought were great opportunities for long-term investing. Now, everyone that's watching this video is going to be at a different level when it comes to trading. Some are going to be new. In my opinion, to you is if you're new, right? What you need to do if you want to get into the market and start building wealth, you need to get a brokerage account, you need to fund that account, and you need to start investing right into good companies long term. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just sharing my opinion on what I'm doing and what I think someone new should do. My opinion will be get a brokerage account, fund it, and then and invest in good assets like the Mag 7, a good ETF that tracks the S&P 500, right? And focus on dollar cost average and putting money into your brokerage account and investing every month and over time building wealth. Now, some of you may say, that sounds good. I want to do that, but I also want to make money short term. Again, if you're new, the best thing to do is before you start doing options and doing short plays, focus on the long term and then take time out of your week when you have a chance and start learning the charts because it's like a different language and it's going to take time. So you got to learn about candles, you got to learn about the RSI, you got to learn about so much, right? So start getting familiar with it little by little. And after you've funded your account and you've invested into some good assets and you've been seeing your money grow and you've been studying the charts, then take some money that you are okay if you lose it, because that is a possibility, and then you can start trying to make money short term. But first focus on the long term, build build a foundation, and then do the short trades. At least that's how I've done it. I've been saving in the stock market for over 10 years, and I started short-term trading last year. So I'm new to the short-term trading, but I've been doing the long-term investing for a long time, and I've seen my money grow. The reason I've been able to do that is because I've been investing in good ETFs. I've been investing in good assets like the Mag 7, and I've been staying away from riskier plays. I do nibble into small cap stocks because sometimes those can end up being a home run. Like a lot of people heard about Palantir. It used to be a stock at one point in time under $20 and then it ran up, right? And sometimes there are good companies that are newer, they're small caps, but for those, you got to be paying attention to the earnings, seeing that they're growing, and showing things that it shows investors that the company has a future, that it's going to grow, right? Sometimes people don't do much research. We get excited to get in the market to make money, and we just hop in. And that money that you obtained, that you worked hard for, you just give it away. You don't want to do that. So, in my opinion, get your brokerage account, fund it, invest in good assets, build a foundation before you start investing in the small caps and doing options and stuff. Make sure you start learning about the market, start doing your research about the charts and stuff before you start doing that. Now, that's just my opinion. I can't tell you what to do. But man, I did good with Meta. I did talk about Tesla on that last video if you did watch it. And I was thinking when we got the good news, I saw the markets run up so much after hours. And a lot of times the market will run a lot after hours. And then when the market opens the next day at 9:30, you could see where people are taking profit, right? But I thought because the news was so good, we might see a continuing run up when the market opened. And I thought since Tesla's been being beaten down and I saw it on the charts around the 340, I thought I would have a bounce and we can go up. And I saw it yesterday, Tuesday, that it ran up after hours past 360. So I said, man, if this continues to run up, I could see it hitting 375, right? But it didn't do that. The market opened. I even left a comment. I didn't pin it. I should have, but I left a comment on my last video saying Tesla's not looking good while the market's open because it gave back all its gains and it's going lower. Right now, after hours, it's going lower. And to be honest, when it comes to Tesla, right now, I'm bearish. Okay. I'm going to see what ends on the week. I'm going to see if it, right now it's around 341 after hours. Let's see if it can get close above where it's at. Let's see if it can at least run past 350. But if it can't, it may start to sell off more. You might make money if you're familiar with trading and you know how to do options. You might be able to make some money on a put. There's no guarantees, but they're going to have their earnings on April 22nd, I believe. Double check that. And investors are predicting, from what I've been reading, that they might miss on earnings. It looks like they're canceling some of the cars that they have. The demand for EV looks like it's down. Their earnings might show some weakness in the business, and that's probably going to impact the stock price. So we could see Tesla coming down even further. So when it comes to Tesla, I'm going to be bearish. But some of the stocks I'm bullish on right now is Meta. Okay. Meta, I'm very bullish, even though it's above 600 right now. I don't think that's a horrible place to get into. But if you see it go back under 600, try to get, I mean, I can't tell you what to buy, but what I'll be doing under 600, I'm going to try continue to grow my share count in Meta as much as I can under 600. Another stock that I think is going to have has a lot of opportunity right now is Amazon. Amazon was at 199 not too long ago. It was under 210 not too long ago. Right now, it's all the way above 220. Even at the 220, it's not a bad entry point on Amazon if you don't have any. And even at that price point, I want to continue to dollar cost average into it. I've been holding Amazon since 2022, and it's done really well in my portfolio and helped my portfolio grow a lot. And I continue to believe in Amazon. I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in that one. You might be wondering where are some other ones. Netflix. I got into Netflix with the whole Warner Brothers deal scandal, and I got it at a great price. And right now, it's been running up. I believe Netflix is not a bad one. Meta, Amazon, these are great companies, good ETFs. You want to take the opportunity right now. Do I think we hit the bottom? I believe that we're getting kind of what we got last time with the tariffs. The market pulled back a lot. Then it started to recover. We're starting to recover. Yes, we've pulled back. We're not back to the highs we were at, but the market's recovering. little by little, right? And we're getting deals with Iran with the ceasefire. And I think as time passes by, we'll continue to get good news. We might have some hiccups, right, that can impact the stock market short term, but I believe overall we're setting up to go higher. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm going based on what I saw with the tariffs. I think we're going to kind of get a replay. I know there's some concerns because investors are concerned that we may not get any rate cuts this year. But remember, Jerome Powell, he's going to be replaced. We're going to get a new person for the Fed chair position, and Trump chose them, and we know he wants to cut rates. So there's a lot to be seen, but I'm still bullish. I believe we're going to continue to go higher, and it's going to happen little by little. And if you've been buying on the dips, you probably see, if you've been buying good stocks, you probably already see some of your purchases in the green. And as time goes by, I think we're going to start to move even higher. So you still want to focus on some of those good companies that are still at a good price and get in now before the run up happens. Now, that's just my opinion, but a lot of people sit on the sideline when the markets pull back because they want us, they're like, I'm waiting for confirmation. And they're waiting and they're waiting, and then they end up getting the FOMO and they end up buying at the top. And then if there's any issues, any bad news, anything, they end up becoming bag holders. Now, if you're investing long term, you shouldn't be too concerned. A lot of you, in my opinion, should be just focusing on that. But I wanted to share my plays, my opinion on the market, how I'm doing. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you want to stay up to date with what I think is going on in this market, with my plays, with what I'm investing in, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button. If you haven't done so, check out the description box. If you want to learn more about the candles and the charts and things like that, I got some flashcards. Some of you may be blowing it off, but hey, you got to start somewhere. Check out the description box. Check out the flashcards if you're new. You want to learn the candle patterns. They're there to help you, so hopefully they do. So don't forget to check them out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Show some support, to the small guy when it comes to YouTube. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And let me know down in the comments below. Do you think this market's going to go higher or lower? Thanks for watching.